Good afternoon and welcome to Downtime with Dylan. As you can probably guess, I'm Dylan Deluxe, your host today. This is going to be a semi-regular podcast, and I will try and do this pretty often, depending on if you people give a shit about what I have to say. Plan on having guests on in the future as well. If this goes well, I'll have Sweet James Jones on the next episode. And let's just go ahead and jump into it. Our first questions come from Good vs. Evil. Initial thoughts on Philly. Man, I'm loving Philadelphia, man. Obviously, the Eagles in real life, I hate them. The Liberty in the NSFL, I fucks with them. Obviously, there's a lot of drama going on with the whole trade from New Orleans to Philly, but I am glad it happened. Got a bunch of great teammates from the S18 class. Fuzzy, you obviously, Hall Monitor, Frosty, as well as getting hooked up with my quarterback in the DSFL, Slim. No, I'm enjoying it a lot, man. I look forward to a lot of really good seasons in the future, and I think we are going to be a team that nobody really expects to be good really, really soon. His next question from Good vs. Evil is favorite cereal. I'm going to go with fruit and yogurt from Special K. That shit just fucking hits different at 2 o'clock in the morning. Alright. Our next set of questions comes from Young TB. I just saw your retirement, dude. Shout out on the Hall of Fame career. Fun fact, whenever I was first getting into the league, I was digging through all the stat books and whatnot just because I'm a big stat head. And that night, I think it was like, 1,908 yards. That shit really stood out to me. That was kind of I don't know why, but that rushing total always just stood out in my head. But anyways, Young TB says tacos or burritos. Man, that's a hard one. But I think I am going to have to go partial to street tacos. I'm a fat man in real life. I love that shit. I could eat tacos every day for the rest of my life if it came down to that. Who is the funniest person in the league? That's a tough one, man. There's a lot of funny people, but I'm going to have to go probably with Hall Monitor. That dude just has a meme for every different situation within like 2 seconds of it happening, and it's just ridiculous. He's always on point with his jokes, so they never seem to miss. Next question is from Big Red. I knew this one was coming. What happened to the Core 4, and why is this podcast going to be 4 times worse than that one? Nothing really happened, man. Just with the timing of the whole trade thing, and then just personal scheduling. We did actually attempt to record the first episode, and all 2 hours and I think it was like 11 minutes of it. And fun fact, everything got recorded fine except for my voice, and I was the one that was responsible for recording it, so that was my fault. And we even did like 10 or 12 like mic check tests just because I was freaking out to make sure it was all good. And then whenever we first started recording, Hall Monitor got on, and as soon as he started talking, my computer just crashed. So I ended up rebooting, hopped back into the voice chat with everybody, and that was on me. I didn't double check my settings. I just assumed that they were the same, and so we just hopped right back in, recorded the whole 2 hours, and it's funny, like as we were ending it, we had like kind of a side chat going, and I typed in there, I made a joke about, wouldn't it be funny if all the audio was just corrupted? And I think Beck said that she would possibly, her and Tom, or not Tom, Bex and our guest that we had on Woker said that they were going to drive to Texas to come kick my ass. And then lo and behold, I went to go replay the audio like 5 minutes later, and my voice wasn't on it. So that was delayed the first episode. And then after that, it's just been a scheduling issue. I recently had my schedule switch up. I was taking night classes for college on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now it's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then everybody else's schedules are just busy. You know, we all work full time. I think everybody that's on that podcast, and just kind of hard to coordinate different schedules. But we are wanting to re-record it, and I think I'll probably talk to those guys. And I don't know if the questions are going to be outdated or if we should just re-ask for new questions. And then just kind of go from there. As to answer your why is this going to be 4 times worse than that one, those guys definitely carried me on the podcast. So yeah, this one would, if everybody had their like own solo podcast, this one would definitely be the shittiest. All right, next question is from Scorp. Why are you the way that you are? I am honestly impressed you managed to type that out with no typos. Let me make sure. Actually, let me go to the question thread and make sure you didn't edit that real quick. Let's see. Nope, no edits. Wow, man, I'm surprised. Why am I the way I are? Dyslexic today. Why are you the way that you are? Honestly, probably because I spent an entire rookie season under you as my GM. That'll spending a season with you will do something to the brain that is hard to correct. Next set of questions is from Eco. Oh God. What is a constructor? What is the difference between classes and structs? What is the difference between references and pointers? What is the role of static keyword on class member variable? I know vaguely the answer to 3 of those 4 questions, but as you said in a private chat with me, I'm not going to answer that on stream. I don't want to bore people. But I will say I want to give a shout out to you, man. In case you guys didn't know, I was in the Navy for 4 years. I went straight out of high school, and in the Navy, I did my rating, or MOS, as some people know it, is Operations Specialist, which is radar navigation, or radar and open ocean navigation, and then I also did a little bit of air traffic control as well as air defense coordination. And when I got out, there's not really any job market for that in the private sector. So I ended up popping into a job at a warehouse back in Dallas, which is where I'm originally from. I was stationed in Virginia for 4 years, but yeah, I moved back to Dallas. I took a job as a warehouse associate, and one thing kind of led to the other. And I was actually going to I was going to try to apply to go to the air traffic control school in Oklahoma. But at the time, the federal hiring freeze happened, and that kind of put a hold on that. And so because of the federal hiring freeze, I ended up getting promoted to warehouse manager at the company I'm at now. And so I've just been kind of rolling with that for the last 2.5 years. But coming out of high school, I've always been a big computer nerd. I've always been computer oriented. I like to build my own PCs. I like to mess around with different distros of Linux for fun. And so I've always wanted to get into programming. And so I kind of started doing some messing around with some self-taught stuff first. Mostly I started out with Unity just because I thought I wanted to be a video game programmer at one point in time. And so I learned C#, and then after that I started to do some other self-taught stuff, kind of started messing around with Python. And then after I kind of really reignited that passion for programming again, I decided just to go back to school at the age of 25, and so I take night classes after school, or after I work my full work day. And so I'm going to school for computer science. And Eco, dude, you're the nicest person in the fucking league, man. Because anytime I have a question about any programming question, I know I can send it over to you in a message, and you're always helpful with me. You've helped out a whole bunch this last semester, man. So I just want to give a shout out to you for that, man. I appreciate it, and I'm sure it won't be the last time we'll be asking you questions with my homework and stuff. So I really appreciate that, man. All right, moving on. We got Raven rehashing a few questions from the 4-core question thread. But thoughts on the league so far as a newer member? Let's see. I guess it's been about since August. So wow, man, time flies. Thoughts on the league, man? So I've always been a big MMO guy growing up, ever since I was in middle school through high school. And now that I work full time, and I'm also going to school full time, I got a wife, got a mortgage, all that stuff. I just don't have the time to actually sit down and play at an MMO for hours on end. And I can't really pinpoint the reason why, but this league scratches that itch for me. One, because I'm a huge football nerd. I can dig through stat pages of the NFL, college football, for hours on end, and it's just entertaining to me. I just love I don't want to say analyzing. I don't know if I go that deep with it, but I just love taking in stats and just the game of football in general. It probably is my favorite pastime besides programming or just computers in general. So the way the league's set up, I guess, just kind of scratched that itch with me in the perfect way, so to say. I love it though. I love the drama. I love the building of the player, trying to compete against your classmates to get see who can have the most TP and whatnot. So I'm really, really enjoying it. I plan on sticking around for a long, long while, and hope to see you around as well. Looking at the future, what are some things you would like to achieve in this league, whether it is job position or something else. Right now I've already kind of semi-accomplished one of them. I'm the GM for the Tijuana Luchadors, in case anyone didn't know that. And I definitely wanted to get into GMing. And kind of a side note, I've actually played Draft Day Sports video games before I even knew about the league. So I thought it was kind of funny that that the league used 2016's version for a simulation engine. But yeah, I've got kind of halfway with the GM job. As far as player-wise goes for my player Thug Castle, I'm really shooting for the top 10 all-time tackles list. I really hope I can somehow get top 5. I know it's a little bit harder with I guess the seasons got shortened to 13 games from 14. But that's kind of my ultimate goal. I mean, sacks are cool, interceptions are cool, but I don't know why. I just really want that to land somewhere in that top 5 of all-time tackles. What position would you like to play? Okay, what position would you like to play as in the future, and why? I've toyed around with the idea of lineman for a few reasons. One, I played left guard, or I played guard or center from the time I was in elementary school until I graduated high school, like back in 2012. So obviously I love linemen. I'm a hog at heart. And then also on the side, as a antidote to that, I know that the league kind of has not necessarily something against linemen, but they try to discourage people from playing linemen just based off retention rates and stuff, which I understand. Like, I get where HO is coming from. I get where all the vets are coming from. But at the same time, I don't think that you can ever get linemen to the point of being enjoyable when you have so many veteran people that are just dogging it all day long. And I think we should pursue avenues of maybe trying to see what can make playing as a lineman more viable. But I mean, I don't pretend to know or have the answers to that particular question. But I would like to see it become a bigger thing. Obviously, in Tijuana, we love to build the wall. So yeah, shout out to all the linemen in the league that are sticking with it. Appreciate you guys. Besides linemen, though, I think probably either, I don't know, cornerback, or maybe like a running back, maybe. But I mean, I want to say running back's overdone, but there's only so many positions to play in the league anyways. And I think I do want to go on the offensive side at one point in the future. All right, moving on. We have Mertzy. 5 reasons why Molly is awesome. Oh, man. There's just too many to even, like, pinpoint. So I adopted Molly, my dog, my precious pup, about 2 years ago. About a year and a half ago, when me and my wife got our first apartment together. And so we moved into this apartment, and we were sitting there talking about it, and it was this like teeny tiny, like 700 square foot apartment, and we're like, well, we really want to get a dog, but we don't want one yet, or we don't need one yet, or we can't afford one yet, yada yada yada. And we just kept up coming with these excuses why we couldn't get a dog yet. Well, one day I was sitting at home on the couch after we got this apartment, and my mom sends me this text message with a link to the animal shelter in the town she's in, and it was to Molly. And so I'm like looking at the dog in the pictures. I'm like, okay, this dog's got the most like sorrowful eyes, just puppy dog, like come rescue me face, and just I was like, all right, let's just go. I was like, well, me and my wife were talking about it, and well, you know, she's really cute. We really want a dog, but now it's just not a good time, yada yada yada. And so we decided we weren't gonna do it. And so I went to work the next day, and I was in the warehouse, and I was just sitting there walking. I was like, you know what? I haven't had a dog since I left for the military, coming out of high school. And me, I'm a big animal person. Ultimately a dog person above anything else, but I just love all animals, all pets. And I don't know if I could actually live without dogs. So I was like, you know what? I need a dog. Fuck it. So I called my wife on her lunch break, and I was like, let's just go drive over to the shelter, you know, meet her, see what she's like, see if we think that she'd be a good fit. And so we drove there, and that same night we brought her home. Like, we went to PetSmart, bought her food bowl, all the dog stuff you would need, and we took her home that night. So reason 1, she's a rescue. Reason 2, she is the laziest, biggest cuddle bug that you would ever run into. Like, if you just want to sit on the couch and chill out, she's gonna curl up on the couch, crawl on your lap, and she's gonna hang out there on the couch with you until you decide to get up. 3, big goofball. She's a little rough when she plays, but I like it. I like roughhousing with her. But if you really get her going, she'll spaz out for like a solid 25 minutes straight. She has a whole toy box full of toys because I spoil the shit out of her because I can't help myself, and my dog gets whatever the fuck she wants. But yeah, she's a big goofball. Like, she'll go dig in her like her chest of toys, and she'll just like take one out and start slinging it around like a weapon. I got a few bruises on my legs from just some of the toys that have like harder parts on them. Reason 4, she always just kind of, I mean, I'm sure other people know this with their dogs, but dogs just know whenever you're like not having a good day or something, and so like you'll come home be in a bad mood or whatever, and then like she'll just like, she has a way, like, she'll like, what she does is like, I'll be sitting on the couch, I've had a bad day at work or something, and then she'll just walk up and then like curl around and sit between my legs, and then like she'll like flip her head backwards and look at me like upside down. It's really goofy, but it always cheers me up. Reason 5, she's just the best damn dog in the world, and I will fight anybody on that. Thoughts on Finland? Man, I wish I knew enough about Finland to have thoughts on it. Every time I see pictures, I've always wanted to go visit that area of the world. So, side note, when I was in the Navy, all 4 years, I got stationed on a ship called the USS Whidbey Island, and it was in the yards my entire 4 years, so I never got to deploy. I actually got off my ship and out of the Navy the day that the Whidbey Island deployed back in 2012. Yeah. And I just wasn't about to re-enlist to do an deployment, but I think those guys ended up somewhere in that region. I don't remember. I only kept in touch with a few guys off my ship. But from everybody I've met from Finland online, man, you guys are all like some of the nicest people I ever met, and so I have nothing negative to say about Finland. He says, do you think you will want to move up to NSFL GMing? Yeah, I probably will. Right now, I'm comfortable being the GM at Tijuana. I think the DSFL is the best SFL. It's always fun getting newer players, whether they're players in other sim leagues or they're just completely new to sim leagues, and kind of seeing like them, I guess the term would be grow up or evolve over the course of the season, and see them kind of get engrossed in the league. I think that's really fun at the entry level to the league, and so I think that's really, I mean, it's just a lot of fun to manage that. And then also, I think there's a different aspect of GMing that you have to plan for in the DSFL versus the NSFL that's a little bit more fun. You know, a lot of times you're only going to have players for, most times, 1 year, if you're lucky, 2. And then you got to manage all your inactives and all that. So that's kind of fun, and I'm still having a blast with that. And I think given the opportunity to move up to the NSFL to GM, I definitely would, just not right this second. Being traded to Philadelphia, I love it there. Slim and Ford have been awesome, and so I plan on being in Philadelphia for a good long while. I mean, it either might be towards the end of Thud's career, or maybe on my next player. We'll see, but definitely in the works. I definitely don't think I'd be satisfied with my sim league career if I didn't GM at the NSFL level. Who do you think will be the powerhouse team in 5 seasons? Philadelphia, man, obviously. Got to go Homer on that one. We just got a lot of good young core S18 players, plus a lot of good veterans. Numbers, BW3 or 2, don't punch me. Ford, Enigmatic, I can't ever say her name. Just got a good core there, and then plus with all the young guys coming up and a lot of top runners from S18 on the team, I think that Philadelphia can come out and really have a good 3 to 4 season window of being a dominant team. My biased and unbiased opinion. Alright, next we got Good Fortune Coffee. Why does Tijuana and Philadelphia have the best locker rooms in the league? Because you're in them, dude. In case you guys didn't know, Good Fortune Coffee is my co-GM in Tijuana and is the best co-GM in all of the SFL league. Fuzzy does a lot of stuff for Tijuana, man, and I definitely wouldn't have been able to be as successful as we are in this first season without him. So shout out to you, Fuzzy, man. But yeah, best locker room, Tijuana. As far as Tijuana goes, man, at least from my short time in the league, Tom and Scorp did a great job at fostering a just very talkative and fun locker room, as well as the vets and Tijuana alumni. Shout out to Ben, shout out to Peyton, shout out to Salah, shout out. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting people off the top of my head, but yeah, it's just a very fun place to be, man. There's always somebody to talk to, always somebody to joke around with. If you ever have questions, they usually get answered within minutes, and it's just a good place. Philadelphia, I haven't been in as long, but definitely one of the best locker rooms in the league already. I got a lot of good friends in there. Hall Monitor, Frosty, Good versus Evil, you obviously, Slim, Ford, and I've been having a blast in it so far. And I'm not in a lot of different locker rooms, obviously, because I've only been in the league 1 year, but I would definitely put Tijuana and Philly up against any of them for the most part. What are my what are my thoughts on clowns? So here's the secret, man. I fucking hate clowns in real life. I fucking despise them. But at the same time, I'm a big fan of the horror genre. Mostly because I like to let myself be scared. I love to go to horror movies and just let myself be a little bitch watching the movies. You know, I'm a pretty big guy. I'm like 6 feet, 275 pounds. I'm a big dude. I'm a little bit heavier set. But you get me in a good scary movie, and I have no problem being a scared little bitch watching that shit. So, as far as the whole clown thing, I know I've been kind of known for it on the Discord. I love the It movies. And the It show from back in the day, and the novel, and so I've always had an affinity for Pennywise. So he's just one of my favorite horror characters in general. So that's my deal with clowns. But yeah, in real life, I fucking hate clowns. I think they're creepy, and I don't know why you would ever subject your child to one. All right, Frostbite. Let's go. What's going on, man? On a scale of 1 to 10, how attracted are you to my leg, and why? Man, I don't think a scale of 1 to 10 does justice. I think I'm going to have to go with a solid, 99, man. Have you seen your render? That shit is fucking amazing. Do you think Filberty is good, and also why? Like, the team, like Philadelphia Liberty? Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're going to be good here in the next few seasons, and we'll be competitive. The name Filberty, I could use some work, man. It halfway rolls off the tongue, halfway doesn't. I kind of can't tell. I kind of stutter when I say it, but maybe that's just me. I don't know what the word is. I do have a stutter, I guess, that sometimes I forget I have or don't notice until other people point it out to me. Why is MB the best team? Man, I read this question earlier, and I am prepared for it, man. Myrtle Beach is the best team in the in the DSFL, sorry, because you guys give us at Tijuana wins on our schedule, man. So that is why your guys are the best. I appreciate it. We couldn't be as dominant as we are without y'all. So shout out to you and Hall over in Myrtle Beach and all the Myrtle Beach players. Y'all can come fight me after this, whatever, it's fine. All right, moving on, we have Saba. Please rank the following by how much they suck. Scorp, Saba, Numbers, Dermot, or Butters. So, to everybody's dismay, Scorp is not the most suck. Being 100% serious, and I don't give a fuck if people hear this or want to get salty or cry over this. Butters sucks the most for various reasons. Number 2, I'll probably have to go you, Saba. You're actually not a bad dude, man. You're just like my on the chief rival team in the NSFL, so you suck. But I also wanted to say, Saba, have you heard about my Ultimate Mini win? Because I have one, and you don't. So, there you go. Number 3, I'll go with Scorp there, just so he doesn't fall too far down the list, because Scorp does suck more than anything in the world. But I'm not going to put him number 1 or 2. After that, I'm going to put Dermot number 4. I've had some good combos with him. He's a cool dude. I don't have any reason to dislike him. I think he's an angry Irishman, which is funny to me. He might be getting mad after hearing that. I don't know. And then last, I'll put Numbers. Numbers has always been a cool dude since I've been in the league. I've never had complaints with him other than I don't think he appreciated my fuck HO article that I dropped when I was young, dumb, and full of cum back in the day. So yeah. Which pair of league members do you think would make the ideal GM team, not counting GM teams that already exist? That is actually a really good question. I don't know, man. That's a hard one. I think the easiest person to throw into any pair would be Issa, just because he has a penchant for scouting, obviously, as everybody's seen, and I think any draft plan or scouting plan that he would put together would be probably bar none compared to anybody else in the league, so that would automatically be a good pick. I don't know if he has kind of the sim side of things. I don't think he's really messed with that type of stuff yet, as far as like actual sim testing and all that. So I would say Issa and Rev, probably? Yeah, Rev. Rev is on point with the sim testing. I know that San Antonio's record is a lot worse than what people were expecting, but I think honestly half of that has just been bad sim luck, because I did a whole bunch of preseason testing where I set everybody's depth charts and strats to something I thought was reasonable, and like as far as like, you know, run, pass percentage, power 30, nickel 35, all that jazz, and then I went and set all their depth charts how I thought they might have set them before the season ever started. And more often than not, out of all 6 teams in the DSFL, San Antonio was the one that ended up in my full season sim testing, which probably doesn't really count for shit, but I did it, like, not even joking, probably like 200 times, and I think 55 to 60% of the time San Antonio ended up winning it. So I think they just had a really bad break go their way. There's also some other stuff I think that we did at Tijuana that gave us a little bit of edge in games over them, as far as game plan wise goes. I'm not really gonna get into that anyways, but yeah, I think they just had a bad break really. So yeah, shout out to Rev, man. That dude's a badass sim tester. I was kind of getting off the rails there. So I think Issa and Rev would be a deadly fucking combo. What is the stand on fascism currently? Man, always fuck fascism. Always fuck the fascist GM HM regime. We might not be as vocal, but we're still fighting it behind the scenes. Don't worry. What do you put on your pancakes? I'm just a classic guy, man. Give me some butter. Give me some syrup. Recently, I heard about a certain somebody who will not be named in this stream that puts applesauce on their pancakes. I don't understand it. I think that personally sounds disgusting and gross, and I will judge anybody who does that hardcore. I don't care. To the person who does it, you know who you are, and I think you need to reconsider your life decisions. Alright, we got one more question coming from J Doctor. Why do you park on a driveway but drive on a parkway? Man, I don't even really have. It's like almost midnight where I'm at right now. I don't have the energy to go into that question. There's like a bunch of other questions that are like that. Like, oh, what's one? I can't even think of anything right now. But I'll have to get in that question another time. Maybe I'll answer it on a future podcast as like a throwback or something. But anyways, all right, guys. If you've been listening to this point, I appreciate it. If this goes well, I'll do another podcast in the future. I've been kind of rambling, so I have no idea how this will sound when I get posted or whatnot. So hope everybody has a good week in the DSFL, NSFL. Hope your player stats go well. Go Tijuana, go Philadelphia. And yeah, that's about all I got. All right, good night, folks.